Like all other walking tour videos of Zagreb, Croatia, I'm starting this video off, where else but Banja Lucic Square. I'm right in front of the Banja Lucic Monument, which was erected in 1866. This square here has been around since about 1641. It was named something different at the time. Went through a couple different name changes. And then finally, this statue was erected of Ban Josip Jelačić. Ban in Croatian means someone who wields the same authority as a president would today. So he was a very important political figure. So they erected this statue. It was actually facing a different direction. It was facing the buildings behind me at the time. It wasn't facing the street. They took the statue down, the Yugoslav authorities, in the early 1940s. So it stood in storage for nearly 50 years. Now, on the eve of independence in 1990, they erected the statue once again. This time, it was facing the southwest, facing towards the street and the noisy trams. You hear how the trams are passing by. So this is the statue right here. And if you look over here, right in front of the statue, right over there, I did my dance last Tuesday. Everybody was watching me, just like they're watching me right now. So there's actually a couple legends about this area. So I'm going to walk over here to a fountain. Now, for years, this was covered up. They did some paving, they did some construction. Then in 1986, they realized that there was a spring under here, a natural spring called Manduševac. There's three different legends about it. One of the legends was that a girl named Manda came and gave a knight in ancient history. She scooped up some water to give him to drink. So the Croatian word for to scoop up is Zagrebeti. So he said to her at that time, he said, Manda, Dušo Zagrebeti voda. Manda, scoop me up some water. So that's how the fountain got its name, Manduševac, and that's how Zagreb got its name, Zagrebeti. Now, one of the other legends, and these are just legends, one of the other legends is, if you drink from the fountain, you'll fall in love and you'll stay in Croatia forever. So hold on, I have to get a cup out of my bag. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. So I got my cup. So one of the three legends about the Manduševac fountain is that if you drink from it, you fall in love and you stay in Croatia forever. So I got my cup. Here goes cup. And by the way, this water is not potable. No, just joking. Actually, I didn't drink. Not that stupid. What you see here is the remains of the Dolas Market, which is open every morning till about 2 p.m. I get my stuff at the supermarket, but they have a lot of stuff, a lot of fruits, vegetables. I've never been there, but that's here every day. Okay, so I'm not going to walk to the top of the street. I'm on Kalčićeva ulica. Ulica means street in Croatian. You know, when I started this video, I got to say, umoran sam jer nisam dobro spavao. I was so tired because I didn't sleep that well. But I got a second wind and a boost of energy, and I'm making this video. So this is Kalčićeva ulica. It's one of the main shopping streets here in the downtown square. Very tourist friendly, very expensive. So if you're staying near the hotel and you're here for a few days, there's restaurants, bars, cafes, lots and lots of souvenir shops. But before I go any further, you know, it's hotter than blazes. I'm wearing my Tom Taylor Endless Summer t-shirt. And to quote the Beach Boys, this is an endless summer because it's been in the 90s. Earlier this week, it was about 100 degrees. It said 40 degrees C. I had to convert the measurement. That's 100 degrees Fahrenheit. In some parts of the country, you got to 42 degrees Celsius. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit, but let me tell you, it's over 100 degrees. So, I got some fun facts about Zagreb. Zagreb is the only capital city in the world that starts with the letter Z. It's also home to the smallest funicular in the world, which is out of service at the moment. It is also where the innovator and inventor Nikola Tesla lived. He was born in 1856. Got a lot of dates for you. So 1856, Nikola Tesla. He was born in Smiljan, Austria-Hungary. It was Austria-Hungary at the time because Croatia was part of the Austro-Hungarian Empire. And Smiljan is now part of Croatia. It's right outside of the town of Gospić. Gospić has been in the news a lot this week because there's been some illegal dumping, and they found forever chemicals, and they're trying to do an investigation as to who's responsible. It's been in the news a lot. But that's about 2 hours and 25 minutes from Zagreb. And everywhere you go in Zagreb, all around Croatia, you'll find Nikola Tesla this, Tesla that. There's some diagrams on the walls in the halls of the hotel, some of his diagrams of some of his inventions and countless innovations. There's a Tesla Ulica, Tesla Street. So he's a very revered figure in the city. And if you look him up on Wikipedia, of course he immigrated to America where he opened all these other inventions. But if you look him up on Wikipedia, it says that he's a Serbian American because he was ethnic Serbian, but he lived his life here in Croatia. Now the streets are kind of dead right now. I think it's a Tuesday afternoon. This area gets a little bustling at night. People come out. It's a meetup spot for people, and people just come to hang out. On Sunday, everything's dead. All the stores are closed. And on Tuesday, which was Victory Day, everything was closed. All the stores were closed. Only things that were open were the tobacco shops. And the tobacco shops, they're just like these little kiosks, these little stands. So if you want to ride the tram, which just passed by before, you'd have to stop at the kiosk and buy one of these for measly 53 cents. This will give you access on the tram. There's the tram right there, the noisy tram. It'll take you anywhere in the city. I mostly walked everywhere because it's a very walkable city. It's very flat. There's a lot of skateboarding. You can bring your skateboard, you can skate, it's very flat. But if you want to ride the tram, you need to buy one of these. You could buy it on board from the conductor, or you could buy it at one of those kiosks. There is a kiosk right there, it says TSAC. 53 cents. I think it might be like 60 cents or 58 cents if you buy it on board. Just a few cents cheaper, no big deal. But when you, I'm gonna take it out of my pocket. So when you go on the tram and you want to validate your ticket, there's these little like machines right at the front of the bus. So you have to stick it in the machine, insert it in the machine. One would think you have to put it with the barcode first, but you put it this way first. And you could click your language. I would select English, but nothing really appears on the screen, so you don't know if it's being validated or not. It just makes a little noise. So anyways, this is it. And sometimes people come by. You know, the pigeons really dive bomb people over here. They come so close. Wow, a lot of pigeons. Don't feed the pigeons. Look at this one. Yeah, so we're back in Banja Square. But listen, what's different about this video, I've given you dates, give you some history, and of course, you've seen some of my antics with the fountain. I got more to come, because I'm as cheeky as they get. But I'm also going to show you some offbeat places. There's a skate spot down here. There's even one up here called Tuskanek. There's a little walkable part of the city. So most walking tour videos of Zagreb would pretty much be centered here and in the walking streets. So I'm going to try to venture off the beaten path and show you some different things and do some cool stuff. Maybe even meet some interesting people. This is it. This is Banja Square, and yeah, really cool. I'm trying to think if I have some more dates for you. Yeah, so Victory Day, I started to say back there, that's it's a bank holiday, it's a national holiday here in Croatia. Victory Day, it's a commemoration of the Croatian victory during the Homeland War from 91 to 95. That's when they defeated Serb forces in the village of Knin, the city of Knin, Croatia. Knin was once part of the Serbian Krajina, which was it's like a quasi-state, which was majority Serbian. Big long portion of Croatia along its border. There was about 200,000 Serbs who lived there at the time. Many of them left during the wars to move to Serbia. About 60,000 came back. So it's a commemoration of the victory when they overtook the city of Knin. Now I'm not getting political. I'm just being neutral. But in Serbia, that day is a day of mourning. They consider it Remembrance Day. It's called Remembrance Day. But that was a long time ago. And everything on Tuesday, August 5th, is closed as a result. Right now I'm going uptown here. It's interesting to note, I said uptown, and that's no mistake, because Croatia, Zagreb, Croatia, doesn't have a downtown like most cities, capital cities. They're centered by a river, like Boston or Hartford or New York City or Montreal or Amsterdam or Maastricht or Bratislava or Vienna. Okay, I'm gonna stop because I don't want to get carried away. But this town isn't centered by the river, down by the river, rather it's uptown, because in ancient history that was kind of more of a strategic point for the Slavic tribes who lived here. So, I mean, the uptown area, or the town square, everyone in Europe would just call it the center, the city center. But for all intents and purposes, I'm in uptown. And here's the church right behind me. Now you notice some of the spires of the church are under construction. A lot of the town itself is under construction. They're ripping up the tram lines, they're replacing different parts of the tram, different buildings, a lot of renovation. But you see this renovation on the spires is because 6 years ago in 2020 there was an earthquake that hit and the spires were damaged in the earthquake. So they're rebuilding them. The church has been here for millennia. Okay, so now I'm going to end this part of the video because it's getting kind of boring. And I'm going to start it up again in a different part of the city with some more fun stuff. Right now I'm walking in Park Maximir, which was ceremoniously opened in the year 1794. It was founded by Bishop Maximilian von Werlohack, who, I'm going to give you some more dates here. He lived between 752 and 1827. This area here, it encompassed what was part of Medvednica, the hill of, actually a mountaintop of Medvednica, as well as the lower parts of the Sava River. This park is endless. It's a real place to commune with nature within the city. Actually, just to the left over here, there's a zoo. And like the Hall of Mirrors at the fun house at the amusement park, when I was a child, I used to think that once you entered the Hall of Mirrors, you never came out. But it's like the Hall of Mirrors because it's really endless. I was there for like 2 hours. But this is Maximir Park. Really, really big park. Really cool. Okay, so I'm back in Zagreb on day 2 of this video, and stay tuned to find out what the Flintstone Flyer, the first episode of the Flintstones cartoon in 1961, Back to the Future Part 1, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles all have to do with Zagreb. You'd be kind of surprised. Now, standing right in front of me, you see that hole in the wall across the street? I'm gonna go in there in a minute. That's called Tunel Grič. Tunel Grič, it was built in 1943 by the Ustaša government to protect the Croatian people from Allied bombing attacks. That's right, Croatia was part of the Axis powers. But as I said yesterday, I'm apolitical, so if you want to learn more about Croatia's role in World War II, there's plenty of videos on YouTube, I'm sure. You could research that topic, books you can read and so forth. So I'm going to go in there, I'm going to check it out, get a little reprieve from the heat because it's in the 90s already at 10 a.m., early, lower 90s. And the tunnel here, just really quick, this served as a bomb shelter during the World War II. It was also used again in 1991 to 1995 during the Croatian Homeland War as a bomb shelter. And in 1993, it hosted the first rave here in Croatia, which saw up to 3,000 people who attended. So there was about 3,000 people in attendance for that rave. It fell into disuse and disrepair, and a lot of homeless people and drug addicts went in there in the intervening years. So it closed for almost 2 decades, and it opened again in 2016. Now it serves as a pedestrian tunnel. So I'm going to walk through it. I'm not going to show the whole video of me walking through it because it is kind of long at 1,150 feet. And let's go in and check it out. Oh, it's nice and cool in here. Okay, so I'm in the last part of the Tunel Grič, and of all places in Zagreb, this street performer has to do his crooning here, of all places. So I'll try to speak loudly. This part of the tunnel kind of reminds me of the movie Back to the Future Part 1, in the scene where Marty McFly, played by Michael J. Fox, sneaked into Biff's automobile, his convertible, and he tried to steal back the 1995 Sports Almanac. Finally, Marty got out the vehicle, got on his hoverboard, and Biff noticed him in his rearview mirror. So due to some quick thinking on Marty's behalf, he did a wall ride on the wall just before Biff crashed his car against the side of the wall. At long last, when Biff exited the tunnel, he crashed into a manure truck, and the manure fell all over him onto his lap, and he proclaimed, "Manure, I hate manure." That's what this part of the tunnel reminds me of. Look at where it comes out. Kaučiceva ulica, where I was yesterday. That's Kaučiceva ulica. Look at these interesting looking garbage cans. All I do is push the button on the side, the lid opens, and then I drop my garbage in a pit about 20 feet below. I don't know where it goes and how it's removed, but I am reminded of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. All I know is Michelangelo is a party dude. Funiculi, 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 funiculi. This is Zagreb's funicular. It's been operating for 135 years. It's a cultural icon of the city. Here's the stone gate in Zagreb that was built between 1242 and 1246. Inside, the Shrine of the Mother Mary is a holy place for Catholics, and the painting of Mary survived the Zagreb fire in 1731.
People are supposed to be quiet inside since it is a holy site, but I guess these tourists didn't get the memo.
I'm so glad they can't catch me.